guys, so I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna be filming an everyday makeup tutorial. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the video. So I always start off with my eyebrows first. For my eyebrows, I start off and I get like something that I can brush out my brows with. Normally I would have a brow spoolie, but I recently lost it, so I've just been using this little brush right here, this part of it, and I have a mirror right here, sorry guys, and I brush out my eyebrows. So I brush up and then I brush like basically in the direction of the hairs, and then I use the CoverGirl dip brow, or it's like a brow pomade, but so the cool thing is that it actually comes with a little brush, and so I take a little bit of it. The key to doing your eyebrows is to not use too much and to not do too much, because trust me, I used to do too much. And so I try to make them as even as possible. So I go from one side, but I don't put any of the product on it, and I just like kind of drag it to this one, because this is my uneven eyebrow, and I kind of outline it. So I outline the bottom of it like this, making sure I don't have too much product. Like that, and then I do the same thing with on the other side. I take some more product and I go over the top like this. So I just outline it once again. Like, the key is to follow like your natural brow shape. So like this, and then whenever you have, I like my eyebrows to be like nice and arched. So like just really making sure to define the natural arch that they have already. My eyebrows look like that, and then I fill them in. I do not use too much product when I'm filling them in, because my eyebrows are already kind of dark as it is, so I just fill in my eyebrows a little bit like that. And I start in the middle of them, and I just kind of push the product back. So then whenever we start getting to the front, I make sure that I don't have a lot of product on my thing, and I kind of just go up in the directions of the hairs that are in the front of my brow. Then to get rid of this kind of like harshness that's right there, I take the brush again and I brush up with it. So there's one eyebrow. It's not my best eyebrow day, I guess, but you know. And then I'm basically just going to do the same thing with the other one, and I will be back in a second.
I take a concealer, and some people like to use like a foundation or something else, but I always like to use a concealer to do my eyebrows. And I'm going to go right under my eyebrow and just like follow its natural arch like so to conceal it, and it helps to like really make it look sharper, I think. Also conceal the top of my eyebrows too, but I don't go like too close because I don't want to get anything in it and like ruin it, but it's also just to help conceal. I will normally like just brush out the concealer. Do after I've brushed it out a little bit with the concealer brush is I go in with a damp beauty blender and I just like pat the areas where I put concealer. I'm gonna actually move on to my face stuff. So for the face stuff, I use primer first. You could use whatever primer you want. I use the Too Faced Hangover Primer, or I use an e.l.f. primer, because honestly they both work good, and I could never afford the actual Too Faced primer, so the mini is all I got. So I put just some primer on my cheeks, and I'm gonna end up needing more definitely, but like put some on my cheeks and just like all over my face. That way the makeup really stays on, even though I'm not going anywhere today. Now I'm going into foundation, and I use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. A dot on my cheek, a dot on my chin, on my nose, and on my forehead. I don't put that much on my forehead because my forehead doesn't need it, and like honestly my skin's pretty clear,
So it's like I don't need a lot of foundation because then that it just makes it look cakey. And I make sure to bring it down to my neck. That way it's like it blends in a little bit better. Just blend it out on my face. I use patting motions with my damp beauty blender. Bring it down to my neck, also on my chin. Now I go into concealer, and I take the same concealer I use for my eyebrows. I use the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. Honestly, get the Shape Tape if you can, but this concealer is okay for now. And I conceal under my eyes. I try not to put that much, but I got really bad under eye circles, so I end up putting a lot. I put some on my nose, so I take the concealer and I just try to do a straight line, like as much as possible, down my nose. I put some on my chin, so I go from the center of my bottom lip all the way down, and then I go from the corner of my lip and I shape it and I connect it at the center. Then I go from the other corner and do the same thing. And so then after that, you can put it like, you know, just wherever you're gonna need it a little bit extra. I've been having some like dots on my cheek. I'm going to take my beauty blender again and blend it all in. Everything's pretty blended in. My face is looking very like matte, or not, it's just looking very like you have no flaws, you covered up all your flaws, and that's the beauty of makeup. Our Mercier setting powder, and I just like pour out a little bit onto the cup. I don't use that much of this setting powder because it's really white and I just don't want a lot of flashback, but this is a really good setting powder that like doesn't give a lot of flashback. So I put it under my eyes because like that's where I crease a lot. So I put it under my eyes, and then I do the same thing for the other eye. So now we're gonna go into bronzer, and I use the Hoola Beauty bronzer. She's a little bit beat up. I'm using the Sephora angled face brush. It's actually called the Sugar Rush brush. I guess that's the name of this set. You could use any type of angled brush that you have to do your bronzer. I start do you see where your ear is right here? So I start like right here, and I go only to the corner of my eye whenever I'm doing my bronzer. And you see how it like creates like an automatic like shape. So like I only go to the corner of my eye when I'm doing my bronzer, and I start like where my ear is, I would say. So I also put some bronzer on my forehead because we really have to make sure that we're making this look as small as possible, trying to catfish everybody because my forehead's a 5 head. So we're trying to make it into more of a forehead. And so I put some bronzer on it. I put it in the center and on the sides of my forehead. I could put some on this side. I also recently have started baking underneath too. So now I actually start from the center of my ear, like basically under where the bronzer is, and I like kind of shape it out a little bit like this. And now you see like once I do that, you can really see like what's there, that it's like there. I do the same thing on the other side. Put some on my chin and then just try to connect it so that way it can be as even as possible. While I'm baking, what I like to do is my eyelashes. Literally look at all of that mascara that's on it, but it's okay. And I curl my eyelashes and I hold it. Oh, also peep that I'm missing this. I literally need a new eyelash curler. But I sit and I curl my eyelashes so until like they're obviously curled. Literally look at the difference. It's the Tarte mascara. It's a mini, but it works so good for me. So I put it on and I like kind of like shake, like I can't describe the movement that I'm doing, but I kind of like shake like right to left, and then I go like just up. So my eyelashes look like this right now, and then like I do my lower lashes too. And I really like for my eyelashes to be standing up, so I go back with the eyelash curler and I curl it. So I'm gonna do the other eye off camera and I will be back. Okay guys, so I did the other eye off camera. This is what my lashes look like. I use this brush. Take just like literally just one dab of it. So just, and then do the like tap off the excess. And I come from here, from like the end of my eyebrow, or I guess the front of my eyebrow, and go down the side of my nose. And I do the same thing on the other side, and then I blend, just like going up and down on the side of my nose. And then I'm gonna dust off the bake. So I'm taking this like really big brush, like all the beauty gurus do. Take this like really big brush and just wipe off the, or I guess like, yeah, just wiping off the bake. I take my Tarte blush. I take this like nice wide blush brush. Ew. Conceal the stuff that has on it, but yeah. And this blush is actually a sparkling blush, so I don't use that much of it. Just take like a dab of it, tap off the excess, and I go on the apples of my cheeks. I smile and just kind of put it on there. I put a little bit on my nose too, just to give it some warmth. I use the Wet n Wild highlight. It's a really good highlight, but y'all, it's like breaking and I can't go get a new one because I'm stuck inside. So for my highlight, I use a fan brush, and I just take the highlight and I do a little bit. I noticed in like 2016 was like the time for blinding highlight, but 2020 is the time for like subtle glow, you know what I mean? So just like a little bit of a subtle glow. So I do that from one side, then I do the same thing on the other side. I noticed I didn't really explain that well, so I just take it like and go like kind of right on my cheekbone, or like above where I put the bronzer, and like behind where I put the blush, and I just go side to side, like using like every aspect of the fan brush. And then I take a little bit and I put it on my nose. I turn the fan brush sideways and I go down the bridge of my nose. And I also just like move the fan brush from side to side, or I guess up and down. Then I put a little bit on my lips. So now I use this brush, and it's like, I guess just like a facial blending brush. I kind of just like blend everything together. Now you can either use like your finger or a little tiny brush like this. I put a little bit of highlight on it, and I go to my eyebrow, and I go right here to the arch of my eyebrow and put a little bit like that. And then I put some on my inner corner, and I just put it like right in the corner of my eye. And kind of blend it out a little bit to put it a little bit like underneath and then on top. Then I do the same thing on the other side. Normally I outline my lips, so you can do a lip liner, but I take this like, I mean, I guess this is a lip liner, I don't really know, but comes like this, and it's a neutral color. I outline my lips. So I start from the bottom corner of it and I follow along. I go on the top. I start from the center of my cupid's bow and follow along on one side. And then go back to the center of my cupid's bow and follow on the other side. And I take a lip gloss. This is the Fenty lip gloss in the shade Fussy. And I love this lip gloss so much. And I just put it on my lips. And then the final step is setting spray. So I use the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I just spray it around my face. And then wait for it to dry a little bit. So guys, that is it for the everyday makeup tutorial. This is makeup I do when I'm going to school or maybe just like going out. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope that everyone is staying safe, staying inside, helping to flatten the curve, and you know, taking extra precautions like washing your hands and staying away from those who are sick, and staying home if you are feeling sick. So yeah, as I was saying, thank you for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.